Hello and welcome everybody to this edition of Talks with Sato. Today we're gonna talk with Baltic from VSC. Baltic, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Same. So thank you so much for coming today. You are from a very interesting project of Hive that is cross chain that is called VSC. What is VSC? Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So VSC stands for Virtual Smart Chain. We're building a layer two cross chain interoperability protocol. And putting it in simple terms, we're connecting users with every blockchain and every wallet type. So we have a liquidity layer that acts as kind of a payment system where you can, have tokens from different blockchains. That could be like EVM, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and all sorts of, tokens that we're going to plan to support. And then any wallet types as well, which is a very key selling point of what we're doing, which means that your Solana wallet can actually directly own EVM assets or directly own Bitcoin or Litecoin or, maybe dollar on chain and stuff from Rootstock in the future. And so we're kind of getting into that really key important area of cross-chain and making that easy to use for end users, which is something that a lot of projects, even in the current cross-chain ecosystem, fail to do. Just fail to do. So we're really heavily focused on making that process very easy, seamless. You could build apps on top of it. Things that people actually want to use because it's easy to use and it connects with everywhere that you'd want in crypto.
Okay, that's a really amazing project. How much time have you been doing this project, Baltic?
I've been it's been around for I've been thinking about it for like 2-3 years now, but I've been heavily developing it the last year and a half.
Okay, that's nice. Well, you are the creator of BSC. I want to know more about you. Who's Baltic? What you do?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of VSC. I've been in crypto since maybe like 2016, 2017. I was just mining crypto at the time, only doing, like stuff with Ethereum and Monero and things like that. And then gradually I shifted over to development side of things, which is where I've ended up here finally with Hive and other projects that I've worked on over the last like 5 or so years of working in this space.
Okay, that's nice. Well, thank you so much again for coming today. So, well, I think uh before we start talking about more about BSC, I want to know your thoughts about some interesting things. Well, I think that I want to ask you first is that BSC is zero fees, right?
Correct. Yeah, we use a resource credit model. Where basically you stake. In this case, it's HBD, so the Hive back dollar, and that gives you resource credits for interacting with the network.
Okay, nice. So, well, this is made in a Hive. You're a Hiver, or what you say about you? You are a Hiver. You're a Bitcoiner. You're a crypto guy.
Yeah. I guess it's very sometimes it's really everything at this point. It's not really one ecosystem for me personally, but yeah, I mean, I'm very close with the Hive community. It's a great group of people. And so a lot of my friends are within Hive and around Hive, but really even within Hive, there's a lot of people who are friends with people outside of the space. Like a lot of people in Hive are not really exclusive to Hive. There's they're interested in Ethereum, they're interested in Bitcoin, they're interested in all sorts of things. So when you think about it, it's a very open community to a lot of external external ecosystems.
Okay, that's really interesting. Well, um, I want to know a little bit how you will explain Hive to someone that doesn't know anything about Hive, for example, or public that is have a lot of knowledge about Rostock but don't have a lot of the knowledge of what is Hive, and you explain them what is Hive.
Yeah, so Hive started out as a social media blockchain, originally made for like having posts on blockchain. It's been noted for like the proof of brain where you can vote on posts and comments and then they'd be rewarded with blockchain inflation. But aside from like what its initial purpose, Hive has really kind of expanded out in terms of what it can really do functionally. Like it has unique account names where you can have like a unique at username. You can have key rotations. Hive has been kind of unique in the space as it has done things that even Ethereum is just now doing, like with the ability to rotate keys of your accounts and have like account abstraction and have some of these other things that previously even Ethereum didn't really have at that time when Hive first launched. And so overall, it's different in terms of probably where it sits in the blockchain scale, like in terms of what overall ecosystem. But there's a lot of very unique things that have been built on Hive and is part of Hive thus far.
Okay, really interesting. Well, Hive works with the delegated proof of stake. That's a
Correct. Yeah, it uses
blockchain
delegated
system.
proof of stake model.
How's gonna work in BSC?
Um, let's see. Actually, good question. We're planning to do like a proof of stake model to start out with. That might change over time. We might look at some other things like NPOS, nominated proof of stake, which is very similar to DPoS, but it's different in some of the ways it works. But we're starting out with a proof of stake model.
Okay, nice. So, well, I don't know if you have a lot of time into Rootstock, if you sometime already use Rootstock or stuff like that.
I haven't personally used it. I was looking at some of the front ends that was there, and I was looking through the docs a bit a couple weeks ago. I really want to look more into it when I can. It's just very busy at the moment. But I'm very interested in what Rootstock is doing and other Bitcoin side chains.
Okay, that's nice. Well, I want to maybe discuss something with you. Is that in Hive there is the HBD, the Hive backed dollar. We have the dollar chain that is dollar backed with
Mhm.
Bitcoin. Uh, you guys in BSC maybe are gonna have backed dollar and dollar on chain at the same time. Do you think you like dollar on chain?
Potentially, yeah, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, really, our goal is not for any specific ecosystem, right? Like there is HBD, which is our stablecoin, but in the future there might be USDC or USDT or any number of different stablecoins that we want to support. Our real goal is we want to connect ecosystems together, and so if having dollar on chain on that having that on VSC, if that's beneficial for you guys, then that would be something we definitely want to support because it gives you access to the rest of the ecosystem. Like you can trade that with USDC now, and now you can just have a direct route to the Ethereum world. And so that's really what we want to focus on with our kind of offering, is that we want to make it so that these ecosystems that maybe they are on the smaller side and not as well as known, that they have that same level of access to the biggest liquidity channels and ecosystem channels that exist outside of the mainstream kind of crypto crypto ecosystem.
Okay, really interesting. So, well, I think one of the things that Bitcoiners are maybe worried or will ask about it is about privacy. In BSC, I know you're gonna put Bitcoin, but it will be like Bitcoin on chain. You're gonna put Bitcoin Lightning, also maybe Liquid. How it's gonna work with Bitcoin and in BSC?
So we're directly doing native Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on the mainnet is what we're planning to wrap from. Maybe in the future that might be something where we have other things like Rootstock, the RBTC, as well on VSC at some point. But we're just starting off with direct native Bitcoin.
Okay, very interesting. So, well, I don't know. Maybe if you want to have like a maybe demo or beta version of BSC that maybe you can show us.
Not. I have stuff. I actually had a question about this today. I have stuff. I have a couple of video demos of that. However, I need to look through my files and locate where that's at. I will have a demo that I can probably actually let me see if I have
Okay, okay.
everything set up. I could potentially show a demo. It might not be the best demo, but it will allow you to show. Give me 1 second.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So, meanwhile, you search the video. Uh, what do you think about which are your thoughts on the last Bitcoin news that basically there are no pending transactions, the mempool is clean? What do you think about it? Like it took us a lot of time to try to have the mempool clean. Right now, it's clean. It's cheap. You have any thoughts on that?
I haven't really dived into that issue specifically. I'm a big fan of like having a scaling solution on Bitcoin, whether that's like Lightning or stuff that we're doing with our layer 2. And so we also enable payments to happen. over our network lightning fast 3 second block time, like how Hive works. And that would be something where you can see microtransactions happening on our layer that couldn't happen on Bitcoin because they're just too small. Then let me share my screen. So hold on. Well, I don't know if it'll share. Okay, it'll show me just a window. Cool. All right, I'm going to show you a live demo, actually. This is not going to be a recording. Is it working? Let's see.
Let me see.
It tried to do it. Maybe I misclicked. Do you see anything?
No, like just appear a few seconds and then disappear from the screen.
Oh, okay. I'll just share the full screen actually here. Give me one moment. All right. Okay. I think it's working. All right. All right. You see my screen okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is our app. It's still very much in progress at the moment, but just to show you like kind of what we're doing and conceptually, is you can easily log in with your Ethereum wallet, right? So you can go to MetaMask, go sign in, enter my password, connect, and now I can go to my transactions and I see a bunch of transactions here. Now, what are these transactions? This is real world Hive that has been sent to my Ethereum wallet. In this case here, I bought some Hive, 20 Hive, and then I sent 0.1 Hive. Now the US, again, still, like I said, it's in progress. We're working on a new version of this, but you can kind of see what we're trying to accomplish here is that it's very seamless and easy to obtain an asset that is not natively available in your wallet. In this case, this EVM wallet that has nothing to do with is nothing to do with Ethereum. These assets are directly available to that EVM wallet user on VSC. And they can send and receive all using the same resource credit model. In this case, I can kind of showcase sending some. So in this case, I'm going to send from my Ethereum wallet to Vault-Tec, send 1 Hive. And now I'm going to sign this transaction in MetaMask. Now within a few seconds, yep, here we go. Now it shows pending. And then given another few more seconds, and this should be confirmed as well. So that's
Okay.
really what we're trying to do. And we're starting off with Hive because that's what we're directly connected to. That's our layer one. But we're planning to do this with all assets where it's seamless to transfer between users from many different ecosystems, many different wallet types, many different types of assets, all within one single layer, which so far for crypto is not something anyone has ever done before.
Yeah, it's a really cool improvement and really cool project. So if I got you, literally you have one address for all the cryptos that you're gonna get into BSC, so you're gonna have a lot of cryptos to use. You can use it in the same layer that will be BSC with the same
Mm-hmm.
address. It's feeless.
Correct.
It's really really cool. So well, I tried Xverse wallet with the Starkers. So that is a good man from Hive. He installed me Xverse, and you can create a Hive wallet with
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin. Kind of interesting how you can manage Bitcoin. It will be possible like to link my existing Bitcoin on-chain account to my BSC account. That would be possible maybe.
Right. I mean, we do it a little bit differently. So the linking model is. Don't let me unshare screen.
Oop. Okay, here's a very few seconds, guys. So let's give him a second. Give him a second.
Oh, sorry about that. I hit the.
No worries.
But yeah. Can you just repeat the question? My bad.
Basically, if you can, uh, if I have Bitcoin on-chain account, Bitcoin on-chain wallet, it will be possible in the future, like connect my existing Bitcoin wallet to BSC, so I can use my funds, and I don't need to change like all my wallet? Do you think that will be possible?
Um, Probably it depends on what that really accomplishes because there's the current like best case scenario of like a cross chain kind of system, like what we're describing, is connecting your wallet, where like it's kind of like you have all these identities bundled together, but that's not really what the user experience should be at the end of the day, because that still requires the user to either have one of two things. Either A, they have another wallet from another blockchain, as in, let's just say I'm a Hive user, I might have an Ethereum wallet, right? I have to know how to use that Ethereum wallet. I have to know how to navigate MetaMask. I have to know how to navigate this. Or if I'm going to Solana, I have to know how to use those wallets, and that creates a barrier for those end users to, you know, get into those ecosystems, right? Um, or you can have the other option, second option, which is a multi-chain wallet, which is fine, but that means that the app has to be able to support a bunch of different assets, which may or may not necessarily happen. And so what we want to enable is that your already existing identities, they don't have to be linked. It's not something where we have to go through this kind of complicated process potentially to make these connections happen. It's already made for you. So that's kind of my take on it. I love this. I'd love to see those things happen if that's something that is applicable and necessary. Where maybe you have like an alias, like you have let's just say maybe you have an Ethereum wallet and it's hooked up to your Hive account and you want to send it using your Hive name, or maybe you have Bitcoin that's like an alias to your Bitcoin address. You want to send native Bitcoin. That's totally fine. That makes a ton of sense. But for just like getting the asset directly to the end user, then you really want to have that kind of direct connection with your end users.
Yeah, that will be really, really interesting for the future. I think I'll be one of the first users of BSC. So I want you to talk on something that is right now going on in Bitcoin. That is basically that with Taproot assets you can send USDT through Lightning. Do you have any thoughts about it?
I've looked at that. I've roughly looked at it. I've heard of it. I need to look into more of the specific details of how that works. I'm very interested in building the potential to have basically wrapped versions of Lightning assets on our protocol. As in, like Bitcoin that's already on Lightning can immediately become Bitcoin on VSC. That's something that we're kind of looking at longer term, but that might take longer to actually implement, especially with all of the other things that is happening. But that's very, very much something that I'm interested in, pursuing it in the longer term future.
Yeah, for sure. So well, Rootstock works with Rootstock basically is an EVM, so it works also with Ethereum, similar Ethereum address. So do you think it would be more easy to add Rootstock than Bitcoin in BSC?
Um, Not sure. I have to look at that. Right now, we have a system that is pretty much guaranteed to work for Bitcoin that we've already been working on for several months now. So we have that nearly ready for launch in around June or so of this year. Where is the kind of target I'm looking at for that. I'm very interested in Rootstock as well, and we'll naturally kind of go down that path of looking at, hey, like how can we bring Rootstock and other assets onto our protocol. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in making that happen one way or another.
Okay, that's really cool. Well, something interesting that I want to ask is, you know that in a lot of chains and a lot of cryptos they have NFTs that sometimes is an
Mhm.
asset that you can see on
Right.
your Ethereum and your Arbitrum wallet. BSC is gonna have NFTs.
Yeah, it has smart contracts, so in effect, it has NFTs as well. Since you can just create a smart contract that you can have your NFT assets, all of that good stuff.
Okay, nice. Well, other interesting will be I know the Hive runs with the witness system for the depots
Mhm.
work. Um, I don't know if BSC is gonna run the same system that you can be a witness, or you can maybe run. I know how it's gonna work. Do you think you'll be adding witness? You're gonna have different witness that the Hive wants.
Yeah, it's just it's our system is way simpler. It's just a basic proof of stake style blockchain. Not too fancy. We might change that in the future, but anyone can run a node. They have to stake a minimum amount of Hive, since we use Hive asset for our consensus consensus token. And once they hit that minimum, then they are part of the proof of stake consensus.
Okay, nice. So maybe a not so much technical question, not maybe not a good question will be, where do you gonna storage all these data? This will be like a decentralized uh, place. How is it gonna work? Like the storage, if a lot of people start running like smart contracts and start loading things to VSC.
Yeah, so we use the well, we don't use IPFS directly, but we use some of the technology that's powered directly by IPFS. So all of that can be there's a lot of things that we kind of carry over from what IPFS does and what it generally tries to accomplish. And in terms of how that matters to us, is that we can do a lot of things like separating out the state of like a smart contract so that it's not required to be stored. Doing some of those other kinds of things that are longer term scaling goals. Right now, we don't necessarily need to do that because we don't have any activity on the network quite yet. But longer term, that will be definitely something that we'll have to look at when that has to happen. When we do have huge amounts of volume and NFTs and all of these other things. We're also very interested in zero knowledge proofs as well. We've been doing a lot of research recently on that side of things, and when we get to that point where there is you know a need for scaling, we'll definitely look at like incorporating zero knowledge proofs to our protocol to make that easy for us.
Okay, that's nice. Well, something that I talk a lot of with the Starkers is what you think the people is gonna say when BSC get finally released and it will be very easy to start sending Bitcoin and other assets with zero fees. What do you think the people is gonna say about it?
I mean, I think they'll probably be skeptical at first, as a lot of things in crypto.
Yeah.
Um, but I think once you really kind of walk through it with them, and probably also at like in-person events, like like in Talentland, we're going to be at Talentland coming up in April, and some of these other events. I think once they can actually see how it works, even if it's fairly basic at that point, they'll really get it. Because everyone I've talked to, even people who have been from traditional finance, right, like people who work in traditional banking that maybe have some crypto knowledge but not really a lot, after I walk them through those problems that we're trying to solve, they just get it. They can even be a regular a traditional finance person that very limited knowledge, and they can get it because they can see what's the issues with crypto from a outside user that we're all dealing with and how we're solving that issue directly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I hope that's gonna happen. So, well, I have kind of interesting question. Will be, for example, if I have let's say that I have Dollar on Chain on Rostock, and now there is a way to use Dollar on Chain on BSC. If I want to use the same dollar on chain that I have in rootstock, how it's gonna work to send it to BSC? It's
Yeah,
gonna have
yeah.
something
So
slightly.
so
Sorry.
we'd probably have like a smart contract within rootstock, and then you would essentially send that asset to the smart contract, and then it would get issued on the VSC side after some number of minutes. I don't know exactly how long that would take quite yet, but probably as quickly as reasonably possible.
Okay, well, a lot of cryptos have really interesting fee like Ethereum and other ones. So let's say
Mhm.
that I'm a current user of BSC and I want to send Ethereum from my BSC wallet to an Ethereum wallet. I need to pay the fees if I want to get out of BSC to Ethereum, or how's it gonna work that?
Yeah, there'll be a fee for that. For Bitcoin side of things, the fee is set by the wrapping provider. Since the wrapping providers, it's actual um, nodes that are acting as that wrapping entity. And then for Ethereum, we'll kind of have a slightly similar deal, but it's a little bit different in terms of architecture. So it might be something where like the network is setting a fee via the DAO or via node runners. But there will be a fee to cover the gas cost. At the very least, the gas cost needs to be covered, plus maybe some extra for the network.
Okay, that's really cool. Well, I don't know if you have any questions that you want to do me, something like that.
Um, Let me see. Yeah, I mean, just what are your thoughts so far on everything?
Well, I think VSC is a really interesting project. I've been waiting, like you know, I'm doing the Hive David project. That's a
Mhm.
Hive NFC card, and I think I'm waiting for BSC, and a lot of people in Hive is waiting for
Mhm.
BSC. I think a lot of people that is not onto Hive is also waiting
Mhm.
for BSC because it will fix a lot of problems with fees, with confirmations, with time. That I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, but I know there's other ways and there's other cryptos that you can use that could be maybe better. For example, like the ones, for example,
Mhm.
Hive, that is zero fees and
For
is
sure.
3 seconds block. So I already made a post on that on Hive, and I said that
Mhm.
basically I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, but I respect two projects that is Monero
Mhm.
and Hive because they are really cool. So I think
Mhm.
once BSC get launched, a lot of people are gonna use it. I think yeah, maybe there's gonna have some people that is gonna be skeptical about it because
Mhm.
this is an interesting crypto world. Um,
Mhm.
but once they realize that it's a really cool project that they can also earn Bitcoin from Hive and
Right.
start moving Bitcoin, like not using other cryptos, because that's a big problem of Bitcoiners. Bitcoin maximalists don't want to use any other cryptos.
Right.
But if you show them that there's a way to use Bitcoin with zero fees, the real zero fees, they're gonna be like, well,
Right.
I'll use it. I need to use it. I need to prove it. So I think it's really cool, really, really great project. I'm waiting for it to use it, to test it, and integrate it to a lot of things that I'm developing with Hive. And also um, kind of interested in how Dot on Chain could be added
Mhm.
to BSC because also it's a great project. You know, it's a Dot on backend with Bitcoin, so it's really interesting.
Mhm.
I think also it's interesting Hive backed dollar, but both of them are really interesting, really cool. Like
Mhm.
there's no obligation if you want to use Dot on Chain or use HBD, you are free to use it because it's a
Mhm. Right. Exactly.
pretty well. So I think it's really cool. So I will say thank you so much for doing this project.
For sure. No.
Um, so for me, it's really amazing this project, and I hope Dollar on Chain is could get included in BSC. I will try to help you if you need like my developing
Mhm.
help on adding Dollar on Chain to it. Maybe also any other kind of projects that Rusto have, any other tokens that we have on Rusto would be really cool. And also
Mhm. Do you know what
kind of
other assets are big assets are on Rootstock? Because I know there's RBTC and there's Dollar on Chain, and what other kind of big things that are on
well,
there?
in Money on Chain, we have three. One is the dollar on chain. The other is the token Money on Chain, that smoke. That is
Okay.
basically is for the decentralization, for the governance. And we have
Right.
other that is called BitPro, that is Bitcoin with leverage. So it's
I see.
1.03 is the value of one BitPro. So you can make leverage with Bitcoin. That's really cool.
Mhm.
On Rootstock, there's also Air USDT, USDT on Rootstock. There's
Okay.
a
Interesting.
token called Rift that a lot of people use it to develop it. Um, we have a lot of, I think those are the most biggest on my
Mhm.
talks. Maybe the most experienced people on Rootstock like Manu Ferrari and Mascar Hussan maybe have more knowledge about it. I think Rootstock have really cool projects. For example, there's one where you can literally get stocks with Rostock.
Mm.
You can give your dollar on chain and get Apple stocks, MicroStrategy stocks without a lot of hard work. But I will say
Hmm.
that the most important ones will be dollar on chain, the RBTC, which literally is Bitcoin. BitPro is really important. Money on chain token is important for us, but also you can like earn with it and stake it. And the token Riff is also really important, and on Rostock a lot of people use it. I didn't use it yet, but I know why the people use it. So I think those
Mhm.
are the cool ones.
God. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely note that. And yeah, whatever stuff that you find interesting on your side that you wanna have me check out, just let me know. And I definitely wanna look more into that. Um, what could be done there?
Yeah, for sure. Also, I think in Rooster we have a project similar to the Hive system that is basically they pay you for do retweets on Twitter. That is kind of a Sami club. They literally, if you are an enterprise, if you're a protocol, if you want to just raise followers, raise views on posts, you gave them $200 on chain, and if you have a lot of followers on Twitter, if you have like a lot of views on Twitter. Every time that you retweet, you get dollar on chain. So I
Hmm.
think uh, if we can integrate that on Hive, it will be really interesting that you
Mm,
can earn Hive, swap it to dollar on chain, and you have your dollar on chain.
right.
Like I know a lot of people that post things on Hive, and once they get the Hive like a dollar, they just swap it to Bitcoin, and they have it in Bitcoin. That is totally legal. They are using Hive. That is a cool thing, and they are getting Bitcoin. That is also any other cool thing. So
Well, let's make it happen.
yeah, we need to do it. So Baltic, thank you so much for coming today. I think it was really cool space. I hope you have any any interesting thing for the future. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. No, pleasure to be here.
Okay, well, thank you so much, guys, for staying here. Stay tuned next week. We're gonna have any other interesting show this Friday. Well, thank you so much, Baltic, and see you soon.
Bye. Okay, bye.